All right, good morning.
Not yet. Okay, just sit down.
Okay.
Alex, when you
Will
come
I
in,
see it on
look
this?
at this one first, okay? Look at this one first.
now.
And then after that, don't look at it again here.
Julian,
Lên nói.
thank you. Okay.
All right, good morning, everybody on the West Coast. Good afternoon, everybody on the Central Time and East Coast. My name is Alex, and I am so excited to be on this call here with you guys. This is our first live stream on Facebook. I'm here with my first co-host. This is Lee Joy Thomas. He's actually one of our partners from Houston, Texas, right here. And I want to make sure everybody on our Zoom, our internal Zoom, is making sure they're on Facebook as well. Make sure to go to our Tech FB page and share it so that our family, our friends, our community partners can jump in and see what's going on here today. I'm very excited to host this first time live stream, right? Things have changed a lot in the last year, right, Lee Joy? And so, as things change, we have to adapt, we have to pivot, and we want to make sure that everybody we know, everybody that is in our community has access to the financial services industry, an industry that has changed my life, my family's life, Lee Joy's family, and his, extended family and friends as well. So make sure to go on Tech FB and give us a like. Give us a follow and share the live stream, right? So I'm going to go ahead and check on our live stream right here, and let's see who we got on this call really quickly. Okay. All right. So we have about 7 shares, right? So our live stream is, when you hear something cool, make sure to give us a little heart, right? I know I've been really into Korean dramas in the last year, so everybody loves giving hearts in the Korean dramas, a thumbs up, a happy emoticon, so we can know that you're engaged with us, right? And also, if you have any questions, comments, go ahead and put it in the chat box, and we'll do our best with answering them. But Lee Joy and I, we have about the next 20 minutes to just kind of share with you a little bit about who we are, what we do, and why we chose this industry. And Lee Joy, we appreciate you for coming on this live stream with us here today. I know this is both of our first times,
Yes.
right? You and I, we've been on stage, we've talked to 20,000 plus, but I don't think we've ever been in front of a camera like this.
No, we haven't.
So we're excited about that. But Lee Joy, you've been in business for quite a few years when it comes to the financial services industry. But how about before we talk about why you transitioned, share with me a little bit about your background and how your career has been so far.
I used to be in the healthcare industry for about 19 years, and I got a chance. I was a director of radiology and cardiology. That's what I used to do. And about 20 years ago, I was approached about learning about concepts in the financial industry. And you know what I realized? The concepts here, people need to know, but nobody was teaching them. That was one. Two, if we learn how to apply them, it would have been pretty powerful. And then they gave me an opportunity to come in here and start working on a part-time basis. Alex, and this is the thing, you're working full-time, you're doing well full-time, but you realize you're always building somebody else's business at the end of the day. As powerful as that is, and as great as that is for the family, how do you plan long-term? How do you plan long-term to transition where you can work for you and your family? And having an opportunity to be able to come into the financial industry, I realize it is an incredible industry to begin with. It was a lot more lucrative than the healthcare industry. Mm-hmm. And also, I was doing the same things. I was bringing people on board in the healthcare industry. We were training them, and we were building them to be able to work for the company and be long-term good employees.
Right.
Coming in the industry here in the financial side, we were doing the same things, but we were doing it for us and our family.
Right.
So hopefully that answers that question for you.
No, definitely. I mean, Lee Joy, you mentioned to me that you were in a managerial position of a major hospital in
Yes.
Houston. I mean, those positions, they make good money. You're talking about a couple 100,000, great 6-figure incomes. To leave something like that is, that's not something small. That is not an easy thing to do.
Correct.
You kind of harped on it already, but go into detail about what made you come over here.
You know, I was working full time in the healthcare industry, and having an opportunity come into the financial industry on a part-time basis, that's not usually heard of, because usually you either make a full-time transition. Most companies don't give you a chance to come in and test the waters.
Right.
But the fact that they gave me a chance to come in here and test the waters and work part-time and did not have to compromise my full-time career,
Right.
that gave me a lot of hope. That gave me a chance when I could leave work, I can be able to learn this industry around the folks that's experienced in this industry and pick up something each day that I can apply.
Mm-hmm.
And that was powerful. And having that opportunity to be in this environment gave me and my family a lot of hope. It gave us a chance to say, you know what, we could come in here, we can build something, and we don't have to go the traditional route of retiring at 65 and older.
Right.
We can retire early. And this was a transition. I said, you know what, we can come in here, we can build something, Alex, and we can retire. What if we could do it by the time 10 or 15 years? And I was 26 when I was looking at this. And we were able to retire at 39 years old. And I love the fact that if it wasn't for this industry, I wouldn't have had that opportunity. I would still be, working out in the healthcare industry and still doing the same things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm forever grateful for an opportunity to come into the financial industry to be able to build something for our family that we can pass on to the next generation.
Right. I think that many people actually, especially during COVID, let's talk about COVID a little bit. It's been, it's a pandemic. It's really devastated our country on a global scale,
Yes.
right? And a lot of businesses have shut down. People have been laid off. People have been furloughed.
Correct.
Right. How do you see the financial services industry fitting into, the COVID-19, environment? And again, pre-COVID and after COVID, we all talk about, man, I can't wait for things to get back to normal.
Correct.
Right. Normal isn't going to be normal anymore. It's going to be a very different normal.
It is. So we have a new normal today in the financial industry. Used to be we were able to fly in, sit down face to face, kneecap to kneecap, and talk to clients and be able to address the needs that people had. But with COVID-19 changed everything. But also what that gave us a chance to do is create a new normal where we are able to sit down now with people on technology and be able to do things a lot more efficiently that could have never been done prior to COVID-19.
Right.
So what I see is the new normal. And as much as people say, I can't wait to go back to the old normal, we're not going to be fully there.
Right.
I think going forward, we probably have a hybrid model,
Right.
where we are going to be using a lot of technology and we're going to be using some face-to-face meetings, which made it more efficient for the average family today to be able to come into this industry and be able to really come in and be able to take a look at on a very less threatening way.
Mm-hmm.
It's more convenient when they can watch what we do or learn what we do at the comfort of their home,
Mm-hmm.
which would not have happened in the past.
Right.
In the past, you would have to drive into a financial center across the country, wherever you were, and it might have been 30, 40 minutes or an hour away.
Right.
So the new normal today is technology has made it more efficient for people to be able to learn
Right.
at a much faster rate.
Definitely.
Right? So, I see this, Alex, where somebody brand new could come in and they could compress their learning curve on a much faster pace today than ever before.
And I think that's amazing. I
Yes.
mean, to learn an industry, and I think a lot of people in the financial services industry already, right? The ones that have been here for a long time, sometimes they make it difficult,
Right.
right? Yet I find that the platform that we've been a part of for many years now has made it simple.
Correct.
We've simplified the financial service industry that allows anyone from any walk of life to come learn, but also to learn the industry itself and make a career out of it.
Absolutely.
Right. Now, going back to COVID a little bit, I got the chance to speak with you and my father yesterday over breakfast.
Yes.
Right. And that, thank you again for inviting us out, hosting us in Houston. But, a lot of businesses have shut down. A lot of businesses have been hurt during this time. Share with
Absolutely.
me, how's your business been in the last year and about few months?
Sure. the last year since COVID started, our business has gone up over 60%.
Wow.
And that would not have happened if it wasn't for COVID-19. And in a sense that it would have been a slow progression, would have eventually got there. But I felt like with COVID-19, it's compressed the curve for our business. It's allowed us to get more efficient because of technology and allowed people to get out in the field a lot faster, which has not happened before. And allowed people to still have maybe the balance of time, you know, where somebody that worked during the day, they could come back in the afternoon or evening and still do a meeting
Right.
using technology.
Right.
So technology is made efficient last year. And, you know, I really feel bad for the business that had to close down,
Yeah.
you know, because they cannot adapt to the technology. But I'm really grateful for our industry that allowed us to be able to do that and allowed us to be able to still do the things that we do with financial literacy through a Zoom technology and electronic platform.
What you just said, financial education literacy through Zoom, it's truly accessible at this point.
Absolutely.
Right? And let's talk about that a little bit. Financial literacy, helping people understand more about finance is our main mission, right? You know, I went to school, got 4 years, got a great degree from a great university, but I find that looking back at a lot of the courses I took, it focused on corporate finance.
Exactly.
Right? Budgeting, forecasting, accounting. But what about personal finances?
Correct.
Right? And so what I want to ask you about is, Lijo, what are your thoughts on financial literacy, the landscape that we have today?
You know, the financial literacy is such an important part for every family today. Because I'll tell people this, it doesn't matter how much money you make, if financial literacy is not part of your planning, all that money is going to come in and that money is going to go out. How do we, each of us, coming in and learn financial literacy for ourselves? You know, even today, corporate finance or even CPAs, they come in, they learn how to balance company books, but really, when is the last time somebody balanced their own personal books?
Right.
And that's where learning for each of us matters. That's where going through the financial literacy pieces that we share has to be taken ownership of, because if we don't do that, our family is going to be left behind. Because we can make a lot.
Right.
All that's going to go out the door because why? People are buying liabilities they think are assets.
Right.
Right? Versus when you want to understand financial literacy, you start buying true assets that's going to be able to put money back in your pocket. So I love what we stand for. I love what we do. And we want more people to be part of that, to be able to make an impact for the family. It doesn't matter how well you do today and how much money you make today. If we are not learning the financial literacy component, our family is going to be left behind. It's just a matter of time.
Right, right. You know, Lijo, I think a lot of people, right now, Lijo, we have about almost 100 people on this call. It's been shared 41 times this live stream, which is, I think, a pretty, great first time, right? You know, we have people like Phoebe Lee on the call. We have Sunny Tran. We have Diane Chow. We just want to give you guys a shout out all the way in NorCal, right? But Lijo, a lot of the people on this call, I think, are in a situation where they want something else. They're looking for something else, whether it be a transition in careers, an extra income, a side hustle, a side business. You're the perfect example of somebody who has issue back then, right? A perfect example of somebody who had issue with time.
Correct.
Right. Everybody, I find. When I talk with people, I introduce the opportunity to people. Time is an issue. I have my family. I have sports I have to do. I have this hobby. I have XYZ.
Correct.
Again, Lee Joy was in a director position of a major multiple hospitals in Houston.
Correct.
I think that demands a lot of time.
It does.
How did you balance time with your job, your family,
Correct.
but also this part-time business opportunity with the financial services industry?
Great question, Alex, because I tell people this. You know, the early phase of starting any business, you might have to lose a little bit of balance of time. The fact of the matter is we all have 24 hours in a day. And we're not working all 24 hours a day. We might sleep from some hours, right? 6 to 8 hours. You might work 8 to 10 hours, but you're still left with time. And if you're able to use those 3 or 4 hours that you have on a daily basis, just like time, money compounds, your time compounds. Maybe you only have an hour a day to be able to do something productive. But that hour a day starts compounding. Eventually, you
Right.
might have 2 hours a day, or 3 hours a day, or 4 hours a day. And when that starts happening over time, now over a long period of time, you are able to compound what you're doing and eventually able to take total ownership of your time. So, early phase, again, you might have to be a little unbalanced when it comes to time. Everybody, we're looking for busy people. Busy people make time for something that's important for their family, Alex.
Right.
Because you think about this. If you have all the time in the world, you're not doing anything, right? Because you feel like there's nothing to do, or you feel like you have a lot to do and you don't do anything. But when you're busy, you're always looking for the most efficient way to do things. And that's where I want to encourage everybody, regardless of, if you have family today, you have children, you have a great career, able to come in here and put in maybe an hour or two a day to learn the platform, to learn what this industry can provide for you and your family is going to be an amazing journey to start with, right?
Right. You know, we've been in the industry for a few years now, and I think we know that success, right? It takes time.
It does.
It takes effort. It takes sweat, blood, tears. I mean,
does.
I think all of us have seen that.
Yes.
Right. And in my opinion, I'm in nowhere near to where I want to be. But I know that a lot of people out there may have tried business before, right, and failed. What would be your advice to people who are looking to get into business or get back into business? Because, COVID has devastated a lot of businesses out there, and I
Yes.
think many people are scared to do something or do something again.
Alex, that is a great question, because you think about the reason people are afraid to go into business is because of the losses that come with being in business. What if you could be in business where you didn't need the capital, right? Or all you needed was somebody else's experience that you can borrow, and they can help get you trained, and within a matter of a few weeks or a couple of months, you're independent enough to run your own agency without the risk factors. So encouraging people today to be able to look into an opportunity that doesn't require the capital requirement or the risk that you got to take or the time that a lot of folks don't have, but you have a limit of each of those things and you're able to put it to work that can make it work better for you and your family. I believe there's no better way to go into a business model that can give you all those things and still have your time back at the end of the day. Because that's what we're building towards, Alex.
Right.
The reason we all come in here into this platform is to get our time back for our family. It's to be able to make sure that we don't mind putting the work that we do today, but how do we get the time back that can make it work better for our family so we can be in a better place, not only financially, but also having time
Right.
long term.
When we were talking about time, I think you mentioned it. It's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Yes.
Right. You got to put in that time. The word extraordinary. Somebody said this to me. Everybody's ordinary.
Correct.
If you want to be extraordinary, you do that extra.
Correct.
You add those extra few hours a day to learn another craft, learn another business, especially during COVID.
Correct.
Right. I always tell people I'm busy, but then at the same time, Lee Joy, I still catch myself finishing entire seasons of Netflix of a series, right?
Sure.
We all have time. Well, we got to make it a priority to learn something else, to another craft, a business, to better ourselves and put our family in a position to win, right? Lee Joy, a few more questions. I know
Sure.
you have to get somewhere. Getting into the financial services industry, can you share with me, you talked about doesn't take much capital, doesn't really take much to get into the industry if you align yourself with the right platform. What are the steps to get into the industry?
One of the biggest things when you want to go into the industry is find a platform that it's simple enough that you can follow.
Right.
They make financial literacy and the education part a top priority. You also want to make sure you have a system in place that can be running efficiently. Mm-hmm. And you want to make sure you have compliance is a big part of being in the financial industry. If you can have all those things, you're going to be able to stay in business for a long time. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest challenges of going to a financial industry is, if you don't have those things in place, if you don't have a system in place, you don't have compliance in place, you can be in the industry, but you're not going to have longevity in that field.
Right.
I encourage everybody, if you never looked at the financial industry platform, to take a serious look at it. Take a serious look at how this can improve what you can do for you and your family. Because end of the day, when your family could do or learn better when it comes to finance, you do better. When you know better, you do better. And teaching somebody else, you end up doing better for yourself too.
Right.
Because why? You got to apply first before you teach someone.
Right.
So I highly encourage everyone to take a look at a serious platform to be able to do better for you and your family when it comes to financial literacy.
Awesome.
And understand that whole piece.
Okay. You've been in business for many years. I would say Lee Joy is very successful in what he does. I want to ask about your organization. How many licensed professionals would you say that you've mentored over your career, right? You started as a director of a hospital. Right. You transitioned part-time into the financial services industry. And now today, you're running a huge organization. I want to know, what type of organization are you leading today?
Today we have over 150 licensed agents. Still want to get it bigger than where we are today. But love what we've built so far because we're building an independent agency that can run on its own.
Right.
And I love the fact that we can grow the moment we decide we want to grow. Mm-hmm. I love the fact that when we decide we want to explode, we can explode. Mm-hmm. We control that. And sometimes you can get complacent at a certain spot, and that could kill your business.
Right.
So today, what we have today, we've mentored so many people over the years, but some of them have left to different platforms.
Sure.
And that's all part of the process. But knowing that we can bring somebody on board, we can train them and we can build them, that gives us the best approach to what we do today. Mm-hmm. Alex, and I love that. I love the fact that any one of us can build an organization. We got new people today coming into our platform, build this thing so much faster than we've ever done. Mm-hmm. They've realized how to use technology a lot faster. They've realized how to run the business a lot more efficient. And they can do things a lot faster than we could ever thought of in the past.
Right.
So I also realize during this time we got to shift quickly as well, our thinking process. Mm-hmm. Because the faster we can shift, the faster we can grow.
Right.
So hopefully that answers that question, Alex. We are still not where we need to be yet, but we're still not where we used to be. We're definitely on the path of growing and getting to do some great things.
Would you say, Lee Joy, that transitioning and I guess taking a risk, a small one in my opinion, right? Because if you think about the risk in the financial services industry, especially doing it on a part-time basis, right? The risk is maybe you spend a little bit of capital to get licensed by the state, the federal government, right? The authorized bodies that regulate us, right? But that's it. Everything else is that you're going to win for sure because you get that financial education.
Correct.
There is no better education than hands-on education, right? Reading a book, right? Reading articles online, it's helpful. Correct. But when you actually take it, apply it to help other people as well, you become a master.
You're absolutely right. When you're thinking about, the whole financial literacy component itself, you could read all the financial literacy in a book, but sometimes you don't know how to apply that.
Right.
But when you're seeing it done day to day with the individuals that we come across, and you've seen how that practice is going, and you see how some of them do really well with the way we've set things in place, you want to do better. Mm-hmm. You want to become your best client.
Right.
You mentioned the capital outlay is very small. It is. Most of us that go into this industry need either a state license and a federal license. Mm-hmm. And again, you think about the cost of those licenses so minimal, right. And it's a tax write-off because what? You're in business.
Oh, right.
So, that's for those folks that's working today in a corporate environment, W-2, hardly any write-offs. But if you come into the business aspect of it, you're able to start writing off the things that you do in business. You're able to start mitigating your tax issues, and you're able to grow a lot faster as well. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of advantages of coming into business, and especially into the financial platform, because you're in the industry that not only are you learning, you're mm-hmm. growing, but you also learn how to manage your finance, mitigate your taxes, which is one of the biggest concerns of people in this country today.
Right. In my opinion, it's a no-loss opportunity. Right.
It
right?
is.
Education is the most powerful thing that you can have.
Absolutely.
So right now we still have about 100 people on the call. We've shared it almost 50 times now. Lee Joy, we're going to end our session now, but before we go, I want everybody on this call, maybe we give Lee Joy some hearts, some thumbs up, some
Thank you.
appreciation, right?
Appreciate you.
And before you go, Lee Joy, just very quickly, maybe, to wrap up, what would be your advice to our viewers out there about the financial services industry? Just very brief.
You want to take a look at our platform. You want to take a look at the person asked to be on this call today and tell them, hey, listen, I want to learn more about what Alex and Lee Joy was talking about. Get involved, get a chance to get started, because you can't go wrong with coming into this wonderful platform and building something amazing for you and your family.
Awesome. We appreciate you, Lee Joy.
Alex.
Thank you for
Appreciate
hosting us,
having
and
me
we'll be here again.
Okay, take care.
Take care. All right, guys. Wow, how exciting. We have about 102 people on our call here today, shared over 50 times. Again, let's give a few hearts. Let's give some happy faces, emoticons for Lee Joy. I mean, it is he is a very wise person, a very great businessman to be working with, and I appreciate his partnership. So with that being said, we are slowly going to be transitioning over to our next segment, which is going to be a panel of gentlemen that I've been working with for quite a few years, right? I'm happy to be in business. One of the greatest things about our platform that we work on is that the leadership, the mentorship, the guidance that you get, right? I joined this industry as a student, basically, right? The moment I graduated, I decided to move back to my hometown and pursue an industry in finance and build my own business, build my own book of business, helping others out there. So today, we have three gentlemen that have been in the industry for quite a few years. They have, a lot of success helping people out there, in terms of clients, but also the biggest thing is they've had a lot of success helping people enter the financial services industry on a part-time or full-time basis and guide those people. So, I appreciate you gentlemen for getting on the call here with me today. We have Alex Chung here, we have Jonathan Tran, we have Tuan Lee here. So, everybody say hi, right? Make sure to share our live stream, follow us on Facebook, follow the tech page, give us a like on the tech page, we really appreciate that. So, we have Edna on the call, right? We have Adelina, we have Nora Stewart, Lourdes, Nancy Dural, Gwyn Yu, Julie Huang. Hey, hi to all you guys and gals. Thanks for getting on our call here today. We appreciate your support. With that being said, I'm going to get started. To my left here, I have a gentleman. His name is Alex Chung. My name is Alex as well. So, hey, best name, right? Alex, I know you've been in business. I think we started around the same time. I think maybe you have a few years ahead of me, right?
Yeah, 2014.
2014.
When I started.
Okay, so I started around 2016 in the industry. But Alex, maybe you can share with me a little bit about your background.
All right. Well, before I get started, hello, Team Elevate. It's great to have you here live from Houston. And hello, everyone on our Facebook and Zoom. But just to tell you a little bit about myself, Alex, and everybody else, I stumble upon this great opportunity. But before I get started, my background is basically I used to be in the casino industry for many years, corporate America. 21 years in corporate America, managing restaurants at casinos. And I wasn't really happy where I was, and I was looking for opportunity, but didn't really know where to turn, Alex. And, this company have really changed my life, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful for this opportunity, and I'm grateful for the education that I have learned throughout the years in this company. And the more I stay in this company, the more I fell in love with it, because one of the main thing that I enjoy the most was, and I didn't realize that financial education is so important. Mm-hmm. And I thought I knew it all. I thought, managing big budget marketing department and stuff like that, I thought I knew about money. Mm-hmm. But then I realized the more I stay in this company, I realized that I didn't know what I didn't know. And a simple concept as Rule 72 have changed my life, and it really opened up my eyes in terms of how to build wealth and how compound interest work. And I was wondering, where was this information when I was younger? Where was this information when I was in college and learning? And nobody have ever taught me this. And I thought being a financial professional back then compared to what I know now is day and night, Alex.
Okay. So Alex, you mentioned to me that financial education, right? That seems to be a common thought when we talk about our industry, right? Is that what attracted you to our industry, financial education for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think originally, if I look back, I know I wanted to change. I know I was looking for opportunity out there, and there's a lot of things, but I wasn't really sure what I really wanted. And again, something about the company that I associate with that have drawn me to wanted to learn more, and that was definitely the financial education part of it. And raising 5 kids in in California, I come from San Diego too. It wasn't easy, and I make money, but we also spend a lot. So one of the benefits that I seen that attracted me, Alex, that I enjoy was how much training and financial education in terms of the workshop that I have been learning. And it was wonderful because learning how to save, learning how to get out of debt, and be able to be disciplined about your money. We learn how to make money throughout our life. Right, we're good at that, but then we don't know how money works and how to make money works for us. And that was the biggest challenge when I was growing up and really trying to save and trying to raise a family. And it was a challenge.
Alex, I was mentioning to Lejoy, I went to school, I had a finance degree. I believe that going to college is very important, right? But looking back at it, again, you mentioned workshops, right? You said something about workshops, financial education. That's something that, again, that's not something that most people are taught, right? We're not taught about taxes. We're not taught about insurance. We're not taught about investments on a layman term, a simple, a simple conversation, right? What do you feel that our platform provides for people out there? How do people get financial education through our platform?
I think that's a great question because with our company, we offer many different workshop classes. We have 5 workshop classes that one of my 2 favorite I can share with you a workshop, like for example, workshop 1, where how do you learn to increase your cash flow and be able to learn to get out of debts and manage your debt. I think debt is something that this country's have an issue, or everywhere too. Any family can relate to this, right? We spend more than what we can save.
Right.
Workshop 2 is another favorite of mine where I remember when I first learned it, how do you plan and build a proper foundation for your family, right? And how do you really protect your family? I never learned and thought about life insurance and protect my family until I was exposed to it. But yet, like growing, raising 5 kids with my wife, we were protected in terms of our home, our cars, but never thought about my life and how to protect my life. And that was something that it's an eye-opener for me, and it taught me a very important lessons that these are the things that everybody need to know, and
Right.
we're not exposed to it.
Agreed. Again, when you talk about financial education or resources or hubs out there that provide financial education, it's scarce, right? And I find that the majority of the time, financial education is directed towards the very wealthy of our country. And again, that's totally fine. That's their prerogative. But I believe that financial education should be accessible to everybody.
True.
Right? Every income class that you can think of should have access to financial education. In fact, the more financial education you have, the higher you can climb that income bracket, right? I don't believe, of course, making great income in the US makes it easier to save more money, right? But on the other hand, if you have a good understanding of financial education, how it works, you don't have to make crazy income to retire wealthy, to retire and have a comfortable lifestyle. And wealthy and comfortable is defined differently by everybody. Is that right?
Right.
So, okay, very cool. So, Alex, for our viewers out there, right now we have, again, we're consistent over 100 people right now, which is really exciting for our first time live Facebook stream, right? Again, everybody, can we get some hearts for Alex? Some thumbs up for Alex? Let's see if you guys
All right,
like that.
thank you.
Right, Alex. Just last thing is, what would you say to our viewers out there about our business opportunity, the business opportunity of being in the financial services industry?
I think for those that are new, the first time they tune in and listen to this, when I first listened about this too, I kind of have a mixed emotion about it. And I would say that have an open mind to really want to learn and be able to you get what you get out when you put in what you want, right? And this company have so much to offer in terms of education, opportunity-wise, that it has a lot for everybody. And I think that if you just come in and have an open mind and wanted to learn, there's so much for you to be able to learn. And I'm very grateful that not only this business have taught me to be a better saver and be able to manage my money better and learn how to make money actually work for me now rather than I just go to work for money. But most important too, that one of the greatest benefit was it really teaches me to be humble and to be a better entrepreneur, to be a better family person, and how to really build my business and even be a better entrepreneur at the same time, Alex. And
Awesome.
I definitely appreciate this opportunity. And I encourage everybody to really, get on the survey and reach out to us, and we can reach out back to you and be able to help you answer any question that they might have.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Alex. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wasn't that awesome, guys? Right? Alex Chung, everybody? Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
Hearts? All right.
Lots of hearts.
Now, see, he's smiling big now, right? Because you're giving him a lot of hearts, right?
This segment is over.
All right. Okay, the next gentleman I want to have a conversation is Jonathan Tran. And, Jonathan and I, we've been working very close together for the last 4 to 5 years. Or actually, when I started in the industry is when you decided to join our platform as well. But maybe, Jonathan, I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate, your family, your wife, Ellie. I've seen Ellie growing up in 4 years, right? I've seen Dory. He has a big baby pit bull, right? She's doubled in size in the last year. Appreciate everything you guys have done to help our organization in Houston here. But maybe you can share with us before you get into your segment a little bit about your background and how you found your way here.
Sure. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Team Elevate. Thank you, friends and family, for joining us today. Very excited to be here and be able to share a little bit about my story. I came from the banking industry for 13 years prior to coming to the other side of financial services. And I really thought I knew everything about finances working at the bank. But when I left, I was really humbled. And I realized how much I didn't know and how much I had to learn and how much more I had to grow. And, we came from an income of over $200,000 before we left the bank and left the other job that my wife was working at. And we went basically to zero and we built it up from ground up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, we were no debt to $100,000 in credit card debt. And, I have to be proud to say that, as of last week, we paid off all that $100,000 debt.
Wow,
credit card
awesome.
debt. And, we, because of this company and because of the industry that we're in, the people that we associate with, I'm able to continue professionally, but also, in my personal life, be able to improve a lot too.
Awesome. So Jonathan, you mentioned a little bit about banking background, right? Mm-hmm. So you transitioned from banking to actually the car and home insurance, P&C insurance side. What attracted you to opening it up a little bit more to our platform, our financial services platform?
When I work at the bank, the bank provides a platform and financial solutions and services that can address a lot of customer needs. The bank also provides a lot of resources and support for you to so-called be successful at your job. And finally, there's growth opportunity, right? And so when I left the bank, I first went into property and casualty insurance, and the opportunity for growth was there. I saw it. But the platform to be able to service all of our customer needs and to address all their financial needs, it wasn't quite there because it's only one thing, was just risk management. And I felt that we need something more to help our customers holistically to make sure we meet all their needs. And then the support in terms of the company, it's kind of there, but it's a phone call, right? It's a hotline you call in and you get help. And so I was looking for something more than that. And luckily, my mom has known Mr. Tuan Lee's family, Alex Lee's family, since I was a baby. And somehow, the world connected us back together again. And I was able to talk to Mr. Tuan about, their platform. And it provided everything I was looking for. I felt that, with this platform, I could meet all my clients' needs. with the support that they were offering in over the last 5 years I've been receiving. I've grown so much. So I'm getting the support I need to be successful. And then finally, the growth opportunity. Working at the bank, you think there's growth, but in corporate America, there's always a ceiling, right? You're going to get to that you cannot never break through. And I didn't want that glass ceiling. I wanted to be somewhere where I could grow both professionally and personally. And being with you guys and being with this company, I'd be able to do that.
Awesung. We have Tiffany Leung who just commented. She says she's very proud of you, Jonathan.
Hi to Tiffany and Kevin. Love you guys. Thank you for all your support.
Michael Tanaka says, way to go, Jonathan. So you have it seems like you have a lot of fans. So I want to talk about a little bit. You and your wife have really built up a brand in the Houston community, but also, most especially, the Vietnamese community. And, a lot of the clientele that you've built, they really refer you business. They really put, you and your wife on a pedestal when it comes to helping people financially. And, that's an amazing brand to have. And Jonathan, we've been here for about 2 days now, right? When he talks about success, I want to quantify that a little bit. He mentioned to us the other day, he has over 2,000 clients, individual clients that he's helped over the last 4 years. And that's transitioning from the bank, which is 0. You don't take any clients from the bank, right? That's illegal. To today having 2,000. How did you do that?
Honestly, I worked really hard. We're very blessed that my wife and I, when we were in our previous careers, we always try to keep a good relationship with those that we worked with before, so we don't burn any bridges. And, I always feel that, if you work with your heart first and you do the best for others, then it's going to come back to you, right? And I think doing business that way, people know, our knowledge is there, our professionalism is there, but also, where our heart is at, right? And people know that we really truly want to help and we truly want to do the best for others. And I think that's where it's taken us a long way. Of course, having your guys' support, and Thomas, if you're listening to this, you and DeCatherine, I love you guys. We couldn't have done a lot of this without you guys either. Just having the great platform, it enables us to touch more people, right? Rather than just say, hey, I'm only going to do insurance, risk management. You can only touch a certain number of people, right? But if you do financial strategies, tax strategies, health strategies, there's so much more that we can do. And I think that's how we're able to build such a big client base in a short amount of time. Okay.
So, throughout some of your conversations we've had so far, you kind of touched on some of the services. I think a lot of people on this call, again, we're hovering at 100 still, very, very strong showing for our first time, right? They may be asking, what do you do, Jonathan? What does your platform provide? And, what can I, as somebody on the outside of the industry, come in and learn? What can I learn here and what can I do here, right?
Right. I think something very special about our firm and what we do is on the financial services side, we can help people learn more and provide solutions around insurance plan strategies, risk management, investment strategies, tax strategies, healthcare strategies. So there's a lot of things that we could do to help you and provide education, provide solutions for you to come together as a team and to be able to help you build that foundation. On the other side of it, our firm enables us to not only use the financial services to help ourselves, but we can turn around and help others as well. And I think that's something very great is that, if you're able to help yourself first and you understand what you have, you're not going to know what you're going to do, right? And then you can be able to help other people that you care about, you help your community. So I think that's something very special about our platform and that attracted me and has attracted a lot of other people to come and work with us, whether they're clients or they're fellow advisors, fellow agents. We have a wonderful platform here.
So when it comes to platform, right, I think that just to summarize for everybody out there, we provide financial education, right? The industry provides, we're able to provide insurance solutions, investment solutions, debt management, right? Emergency fund, strategies, long-term savings, retirement. It's pretty powerful. I find that a lot of organizations, shops out there, companies out there, they'll focus on, hey, we do wealth management. And at the end of the day, they just do investments.
Right.
right? On the other hand, other shops will just say, we do insurance. Again, they just do insurance. All you have goes here. All you have goes there, right? I find that if you align yourself with the right platform, a company, an organization really dedicated to doing the right thing for a client, you got to connect the dots.
Sure.
Right, and connecting the dots is it's really what's going to get to the client to their final destination when it comes to financial strategy. So, Jonathan, we appreciate your partnership. We appreciate the hard work that you and your wife do for the organization, but also for the community in Houston here. Without his wife, actually, she's directing the show for us right now. She's the marketing guru, so we appreciate your wife, Thuy Nhum. But most importantly, we appreciate your friendship, staying very close with us. So thank you a lot, Jonathan.
Thank you, brothers.
Awesome.
Thank you. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Everybody, thank you for watching us today. I just want to make sure that you guys don't forget to continue to like, comment, share the stream, like the Team Elevate page so that you guys can see more content coming from this. This is just the beginning, so thank you.
All right, awesome. Okay, so our last segment, we are going to end with our leader of the organization, a person whose vision has really helped us to get to where we are today, right? But also where we're going to be 5, 10, 15 years down the road, even when he's retired. Right, so we appreciate working with him, but I've gotten to know this gentleman over the last 27 years and 4 months of my life. Without him, I literally would not be here sitting with Alex and Jonathan, right? He's actually my father, and though going into business with family sometimes can be a little bit tricky, can turn out bad a lot of times for us. I think it's actually brought us a lot closer, and I love the financial services industry. I love helping families out there, but the most priceless thing that you can have is building a business, a family business. With your dad, your mom, your sisters, that one day you can pass down to your next generation. That's what we're trying to do right here. That is the big difference between being an employee and a business owner, right? As Jonathan, when you worked back, at the bank, if you were to go on, Ellie can't have anything.
It's the bank's legacy,
right?
Our family legacy.
And that's what that's one of the biggest reasons I decided to get in here. And because before I was even born, he was in the industry, and because of the financial education, the knowledge that he got from learning the industry, right? Myself, my sisters, we were able to come out of school student loan free, not have to worry about those things, right? People talk about debt management. That's a big conversation for a lot of people. That doesn't allow them to do certain things they want in life, right? Because of the financial services industry, because my dad made a decision to get into it, none of us, all three of us, my sister right now is at UC Berkeley, she will come out of school student loan free as well, right? Because of saving, because of education, right? And so I appreciate you, my sisters and I, we appreciate everything you've done. I know that was probably the biggest decision from transitioning careers to where we are today to make that impact on our family. So, I want to welcome former engineer of 10 years, but now 28 years in the financial service industry, my father, Tuan Le.
All right, good morning, good afternoon, Team Elevate, depending on where you come from, okay? First of all, this is my first time on live stream,
Yep.
Facebook, right? We appreciate Thuy Nhum and then Bat for setting up this program for us. We appreciate big time. Just like many of you, I confess to you, this is my first time, so I kind of feel a little bit nervous, a little bit here. So just give me some,
Give some hearts. This is his first, he just...
my page, okay?
He's got his Facebook now too, right? Make sure to follow him, add him on Facebook.
Okay, so just like Alex say, I don't know, Alex, when you say 5, 10, 15 years, I'm going to turn 60 in May. This month, I turn 60. So 15, 75, that's too old for me. But I can handle another 5 or 10, all right? So first of all, we are very, I'm very proud about your accomplishment, Alex. Alex Trung, I have a chance to know you, work with you. I'm very proud about your hard work, your belief in the financial industry. And Jonathan, man, I remember that when my wife carry you 1-year-old baby. Okay, you are 1-year-old baby, carrying you. You know, it's a precious time, and I don't watch you growing up, but then I re-enter your part of your life in the last 3 years, 4 years, and I'm looking forward to many good years, maybe another 10. 15 is too long, right? Another 10 good years with you and Thuy Nhung and the Houston team over here too. But I'm an engineer by trade. I spent 6 years in college getting my engineering degree. And I always want something different. I'm not happy being an engineer. I want more. There's nothing wrong being an engineer, but you know, there's politics, what you call the class ceilings. I don't like my boss. Okay, I do what I do to support my family, but I always look for something else to do, and I get into the financial industry. So I've been in the financial industry for 30 years. Alex is 27 years old today, so I get in 3 years before. But because I get into the financial industry, I be able to plan a lot. I agree with Alex Trung talking about financial education. I think financial education is very important. We all have a lot of education. We have very minimum financial education. Now, just like Alex Lee was talking about, a lot of people out there, they talk about our firm provide financial education, but actually they don't. What they do is they give you a brochure. They give you some kind of a web page. You do it by yourself. Well, if that's the case, then we don't need university. We don't need college. We don't need high school. Here, the textbook, you go learn yourself. You become a doctor yourself. You become engineer yourself. Somehow, some way, in addition to textbook, we got to have hand-on guidance, hand-on mentoring, hand-on teaching also. So that way, someday you become a successful person too. So financial education is very important. And, you know, a lot of people think that, you know, even I was an engineer. I worked engineer for 10 years. And most of my engineering friends, they're pretty smart, you know, except in the finance, you know, a lot of common sense. What get me here? Because, you know, like for example, when I was an engineer, a whole bunch of engineers get together. Guess what they talk? We are going to retire. We work hard today. We're going to retire when we turn 65. That's what we talk about. We work hard, you know, when we turn 65, the government will take care of us. We don't have to pay any money on health care. Medicare take care of us when we turn 65. We don't pay tax anymore when we turn 65. See, it's not true. That's when I come here and I learn, you know, age has nothing to do with retirement. What helps you retire is money. If you have money, you can retire at any age you want. And if you have no money, I don't care, you are 80, you still have to go to work. And then a lot of people think that I don't pay tax when I retire. It's not true. The reason why you don't pay tax when you retire because you have no income. As long as you have income, doesn't matter how old you are, you got to pay tax. So your choice. You know, I'd rather pay tax when I'm 80 than when I'm 80, I don't pay tax anymore, you know. And when you talk about retirement, you know, you have to understand, nobody let you borrow money to retire. They let you borrow money to buy a car. They let you borrow money to buy a house. They let you borrow money to buy an iPhone. But they will never let you borrow money to retire because you cannot be paid back, you know. So you got to have your own plan. And that's some of the reason why, you know, I want to get in the financial industry. Just something basic like that, something very common sense like that. We got to have a plan, you know. And then when you have a plan, a lot of people, when you talk about finance is not only about a checking account. Some people think I have a checking account. That's finance. Some people say, oh, I have an investment account. That's finance. Some people say, oh, I have a life insurance policy. That's finance. No, it is not. It is part of a plan, but it is not a complete plan. That's why I think it's very important you understand more about finance. Alex mentioned about he graduated. He worked with our group here, helping a lot of people as well as helping himself. It costs a lot of money to send Alex to his private university, $65,000 a year. For 1 year, $65,000. And then his younger sister go to another private university in San Diego. Costs another $65,000. In 1 year, 2 kids go to college, $130,000. So we got to plan a lot of right planning, make sure it accumulate, use it tax-free, so that way we have enough money to send them to university. And when they graduate, you know what? At least they don't owe any debt, and they start building their career. their life, with their future wife, future husband, and have family, something like that, So I'm very excited about that. So that's the reason why. Is there a need for what we do? Absolutely. People need to learn about finance. You listen a lot, like they say, everybody claim financial education, but those are textbook. Need to have instructor. Those are information only. They got to have somebody guide them to make sure they understand, to make information become knowledge. When you have knowledge, you gain confidence. And when you gain confidence, you can make the right decision. The reason why a lot of people don't make decision to save, the reason why people don't make decision to get long-term care, the reason why people don't make a decision to invest, to save money for their college education, because they don't know where and which plan is a good plan for them, And that's why financial education is very important. So many people nowadays, whether you are millennial or whether you are Generation X or even baby boomer like me, we want to get into the financial industry career because it's very rewarding career too. As a matter of fact, because of this career, thank you to this financial service career, it allowed me to help pay for my 3 kids' college education. It allowed me and my wife and my family to pay off we bought a home about $1 million 15 years ago. As of today, we own that house free and clear. Our kids go to college for free. We make a very stable income. As a matter of fact, right now, every year I pay tax. My income tax is more than what I make as an engineer before, Stable income, good lifestyle every year. At least one time we go to Hawaii every year, minimum one time for the last 30 years. We have dinner at the bottom of the Great Pyramid in Egypt. We went to the birthplace of Jesus in Israel. We went to Vietnam. I spent some time with Jonathan and Alex in Vietnam. We stayed in a $10,000 per night suite in a hotel, what do you call it, Reverie, $10,000 a night. We stayed there for 3 nights. And then you guys have crazy parties, something like that. Don't tell Thủy Nhung that, okay?
What is her recommendation?
But just like people here share with you, if you work hard, the reward will be there. Now, I have no financial background. I'm engineering background. Provided you're willing to work hard, provided you follow the system. Very simple. I have no financial background. I have no license. I have no experience. But by working hard, by following the system, Alex, that be able to allow Daddy to achieve what we do. And again, I'm very proud to work with you, Jonathan. Our best is yet to come. Alex, June, the best is yet to come. We got to put Houston on the map, So anyway, back to you, Alex.
Awesome. All right, well, I think for our first live stream for Team Elevate, what do you guys think? Everybody on this call, we went from, usually streams go down in terms of viewers, or we actually, our numbers kept going up. So was that a good first round, guys?
Yes.
Can we get some hearts, some thumbs up and some love? Do you guys think that was a good stream? Would you like to do this again, right? I know there's a lot of people out there that have some questions, maybe interested in learning more about the industry or just financial education alone. I urge you, follow our page, right? You can see all the events that we have. Follow the Tech FB page, give it a like, right? Direct message the person that invited you or tagged you. This is Jonathan Tran, Alex Jung, Alex Lee, Tuan Lee. We all have Facebook accounts, social media. Please give us a like, give us a follow, right? And I urge you, right, to close out our live stream here today is, number one, go learn, right? Go learn more about financial education so that you can put yourself in a position to win the money game today, but also so that you can make sure that your children, your legacy, what you leave behind is also set up as well. And then secondly, if you find that, hey, I'm looking for something extra, I'm looking for extra income, I'm looking for a transition in careers, I'm bored, whatever your reason is, there's always a reason why someone decides to check out the financial services industry. I urge you, do it. Right? We are always looking to expand, and we'd love to share more with you about how we do it, who we are and how we help families out there. So we appreciate you guys, everybody. We appreciate our production team, the director, our cameraman. We appreciate Lee Joy, Tuan Lee, Jonathan, and Alex. And we thank you all for attending our live stream. And we'll catch you guys next time. Take care now, yeah?
Awesome. Bye. Take care.